Today, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without the hassle. DirecTV Stream brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, which means you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. And the best part? There's no annual contract. So stop waiting and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. That's directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
Turn up the heat this summer. Get propane delivery straight to your door with Cinch. CYNCH. It's easy and convenient to order, and Cinch brings the tanks to your home on your schedule. Just go to cinch.com. That's CYNCH.com. Select your delivery date and drop-off location, and Cinch handles the rest. Now, new customers can get their first propane tank exchange for just $10 when they use promo code TANK10 at checkout. Cinch. Propane Grill Tank Home Delivery. Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. Visit CYNCH.com/offer for details.
113-98. The Sacramento Kings beat the LA Clippers today in game 2 of the preseason. I got my boy Javi Zaragoza to break it all down. How you doing, brother?
All right, how you doing, man? Good way to start off the evening, late evening at this particular hour.
No doubt, man. This won't be a long show. Probably, I always say that, but it always ends up being long because we'll get into other things like the proposed deal that you made today on the platform. But before we get into all the nuances of the game today, this episode is presented by Medici Sacramento. If you guys haven't had their top-notch pizza, make sure you guys check it out, man, because it is A1, the closest thing to Italian pizza. I just had it on Sunday, and it was my favorite of all time, once again. And I've had this a lot of times, okay? So I can't make this up. It was literally delicious. A simple pepperoni and cheese. My gosh, man. I mean, you've had it, Javi. How would you rate the pizza? Exactly. Second to none, bro. And Danny, owner, is good people, man. Got love for that guy. And yeah, bro, I appreciate Medici Sacramento for always supporting the Cowboy Kingdom platforms. Javi, what was your biggest takeaway from tonight's game?
That the defensive tenacity, proficiency, most importantly, the execution has been instilled into this team, and not just with Davion, Tristan Thompson, the re-signing Mo Harkless, Terrence Davis, but I think Doug Christie's had a mighty effect for the better in regards to not just the way we play, but our mindset. I think it's something that's going to be privy to everyone to watch. I'm not saying we're going to win 50 games, but it's definitely taking its course. Granted, the Clippers obviously without Kawhi coming back from ACL surgery, but I mean they're just real physical. They play with a lot of tenacity, but a lot of grit. That's a lot of effort. And an old friend taught me, effort's between you and you. Nobody else can give you effort. And I see that in each and every single second they're on the court, from possession to possession, each and every quarter. And that's something that's invaluable, especially for a team like Sacramento who hasn't had that in 15 plus years now.
Right, and we'll briefly touch on most of the guys that played tonight, like Harrison Barnes, always being consistent. We call him Mr. Consistent for a reason. Smooth game. In game 1, I was there at Golden One Center. He looked great. He looked like he was healthy once again, like he was last year. But then when you overuse him overplaying because his team lacks depth, then you get a different version of Harrison Barnes. But now with this team having depth, it's a beautiful thing to watch and see. No more Corey Joseph coming off your bench. You have an abundance of guards that if one is having an off night, no pun intended, you can put one in, right? Davion Mitchell, Buddy Hield, Terrence Davis. Those are all options off your bench if you, in fact, do choose to go with Buddy Hield off the bench. I think your best lineup is still Buddy Hield, Tyrese, and Fox, with HB and Holmes starting, and then bringing Davion and TD off the bench. Eventually, Davion will start. It's only a matter of time. The same with Tyrese Halliburton. But as of right now, kind of ease him in, allow him to play against second units, being my biggest takeaway. But with Harrison Barnes, 23 minutes tonight, 4, 7, 11 points, plus 18, it doesn't get more consistent than that, man. What did you like from Harrison Barnes tonight?
He's just, from what we've seen, not making his way into this would be his fourth season with Sacramento, because he 18, 19, 19, 20. Yes, his fourth season in Sacramento. Got 3.5, but he got acquired 18, 19. I feel like, again, Christie's weighing mightily on not so much success, but just realizing and having him understand, like, you are a more than capable player in this league. And it's not so much being a superstar, but your two-way presence in regards to your prowess and ability is something that's just invaluable. But most importantly, it puts so much pressure on coaches of the opposition, because he can score in the paint, he can shoot the three ball, he can play solid defensively as a three in the four position, respectively, because of how tall he is. He's strong though, so he doesn't get overpowered by fours. He's a little short per se at 6'9", but again, the league is almost like positionless, where I'm not saying height doesn't matter, but you don't see the prototypical 6'11", 7 foot rather four that's playing the power forward position anymore. Like, you see 6'7" to 6'9", 6'10" power forwards, but he's so quick and athletic and agile. He's making people move and miss, and and he has so much patience under the cup when he's in the interior to the basket, with the putback, with the fadeaway, with the step back, just with his dribble drive action to, dribble, penetrate, dish, and drive. Most importantly, when he's just backing down smaller or even just weaker, lack of a better term, small forwards and power forwards alike.
People are saying that the stream is laggy. I'm watching it on my phone. It looks pretty clear to me. We apologize for the inconveniences. A lot of people are saying that. I don't know what the issue could be. It says that my system is running smoothly. So, yeah, I don't know. Some people saying go to Deuce and Mo. It is what it is, man. Shout out to them as well. There's no hate involved. Support everybody, whatever the case may be. But again, man, great points on Harrison Barnes. Maurice Harkless started tonight. Was that shocking that he started along with Tristan Thompson and Luke Walton before the game, saying that it's a real possibility? Or was it just Luke giving us smoke screens as usual?
Smoke screens.
Yeah. Like, ain't no way in hell Tristan Thompson is going to start over Rashawn Holmes. It just wouldn't make sense. Tristan Thompson's a nice player, but, he's a veteran. He's past his prime. Yes, he's tough. He brings that mindset, that toughness that this team badly needs, but he's a guy coming off the bench for sure. But what that meant to me, though, when I saw that quote, I was like, I wasn't shocked in the way that, okay, well, Rashawn's going to the bench. No, like, I know Rashawn's going to start. But what that means is that Tristan Thompson is heavily, highly rated by Luke Walton, which means maybe a guy like Marvin Bagley could be on the outside looking in when it's all said and done, because you like lineups where you have forward versatility with Maurice Harkless playing the 4, HB playing the 4. So where does Bagley fit into all of this, right? So that's what came to mind for me when I heard that quote.
It's sad to see, and more than discouraging when you've seen him playing at the end of the fourth quarter. Like, I know it's, I even say per se garbage time, because again, that doesn't count, but it's just like, are they trying to just, get him extra work, get him extra time, more minutes? You trying to like showcase him, but it's definitely like, why are you in the game with Louis King and them? It's a head scratcher. I'm not gonna sit there in front. He's just starting power forward. And he's playing in the fourth when the Kings are up double digits, and
he's not your starting forward. Stop it, Javier.
Well, I'm saying he started the first 2 games of the power forward position. What I'm saying, you know what I mean? Like, he was a starting 4 game 1 of the preseason, and they see him. Unless obviously they probably, like I said, what I'm saying, they're trying to see what they have in him before the restricted free agency comes up. Whether they're going to trade him at the deadline, trade him now for what I said in, my more than proficient trade idea today, or whether they just let him walk entirely or sign him trade in the offseason. But it's just like, you look at things logistically, he's playing the 4 position in a game that the Kings are up by 20 plus, and you're just like, what? I don't understand the logic behind it, but again, I'm not a basketball coach, especially not at that level, but it makes you think twice. Maybe they're trying to showcase him and get him some extra work. Either way, it's, it's a head scratcher, and I
Right.
think it's a good segue into that trade. We can talk a little bit later because
Well,
I think it works for everybody. But yeah, that's my point on Marvin Bagley. I know you're
yes.
Marvin Bagley K. You know,
So Mo
type of
Harkless had a good game. He
yes,
didn't fill up the box stat sheet per se, but he affected the game in different ways defensively, passing the ball. He was a +8 for the game. Tristan Thompson, same, 17 minutes tonight, 3-9, was aggressive at 11 rebounds, 6 points. That's what you want from Tristan Thompson. And then you move down the line, which I was very impressed with Tyrese Halliburton from a playmaking perspective in the first half. He was dropping dimes. He finished the game with 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 4 points, but a +13. That tells you a lot because he made an impact on this game. He was Showtime tonight, playing like a baby Magic Johnson. And then De'Aaron Fox doing what he does best. He loves to play against the LA Clippers. He seems to kill that team all the time. He was smooth. He was strong. And even the Clippers broadcast team, Jim Jackson and the other guy were like, damn, like this guy is just the truth. If his jump shot is falling at this rate, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, which is 60%, he's going to be unstoppable. And again, as I said in my 10-question series with Vince Miracle, to me, he has top 10 talent in the NBA, and that's saying a lot. And if he is a top 10 talent, that means the Kings will be relevant once again.
yes. And you look at things from the outside looking in, the infrastructure of this foundation that they built, I think is solidified right now. I mean, Tyrese, Davion, and De'Aaron, like, whether the NBA is going small, whether the Kings are going to try to go small, it's just IQ, the want to, most importantly, the attitude is different. That field with Rashawn in the interior and obviously Harrison, the stout veteran, and Buddy the sharpshooter from the construction of the roster at this current time, October 6, 2021. I mean, that 3 guard lineup, it brings us hope. Not like hope like we make the playoffs. I'm saying hope for the next 5 years. You've got 20-year-old, 22-year-old, and 25-year-old, and they all play 100 miles an hour. But they all have basketball etiquette and IQ. Most importantly, they all play for the team.
Right.
They're not out there chasing success, like at least not yet. Like like Giannis said, anybody go to a super team and chase success and chase a championship, that's the easy. To play a role, do your part, play whatever role and part of the team you're asked to play in regards to what they put you in to do. But it takes real grit, real character, most importantly, a real man or woman to come and do what Davion and De'Aaron are trying to do right now. Tyrese, that takes true character with real integrity.
And Davion Mitchell, man, he is a definition of integrity, the definition of hard work. 26 minutes tonight, 5 of 9, 3 of 3 from beyond the arc. He brought it on both ends. He is silky smooth. Jim Jackson was just raving over this guy. He said, I don't care how many guards you have, you need to make it work because he has the it factor. And for even an opposing broadcaster and a guy who played at a high level like Jim Jackson, for him to say those things, that just speaks volumes on Davion Mitchell's character, on Davion Mitchell's game. I love to hear it, man. And I do sometimes like to tune into opposing broadcast groups because it gives you a different perspective and not always the homer. I mean, you have to be positive when you work for the team, but I like to listen to opposing broadcasts sometimes. And tonight, they had nothing but praise for Davion Mitchell. And I believe it's going to continue because he's only going to get better as the season progresses. Obviously, he doesn't do anything great offensively yet, but we know what he's in there for, and he's in there to make an impact defensively. But I do think he's going to start being great at a couple of things offensively because he is a gym rat. You got to kick him out the gym, man. He loves the game that much. He's a student of the game, and I can't wait to see him progress as the season continues.
And just to second that, Davion's nickname is Off Night, but I just want people out there, all our fans, Cowboy Kingdom listeners, that something that people don't understand in basketball, at least from my perspective, is that defense is just how bad do you want it? And when defensive players get labeled as players that they can't shoot offensively, whatever, I mean, you can say it's a certain set, but just understand that they want it a lot more than your average player per se. Like Davion wants to be great. He doesn't just bring that tenacity and the effort and just everything that he offers and presents on the defensive side of the floor because he thinks it's cool. He does it because he wants to be great. That's how bad he wants it. And that's something, again, Sacramento. How many players have wanted to be that good for the Sacramento Kings since 2006? I mean, I can name maybe 5, that genuinely wanted to be great, and I'm not saying he's going to be the end all be all, next, savant, best defensive point guard we've ever seen. But I'm saying for a guy in year 1 that's doing things what he's doing, and he's, his first 2 weeks of the season in preseason, I mean, you don't find stuff like that. And again, that's a nice way to give kudos to Monty McNair. Whether he was there, whether Tyrese and him fell into their lap respectively, he still made the right pick from what we see at this given juncture.
Right. Let's talk about Buddy Hield, Terrence Davis, 2 guys who have no conscience. And you got to love it because if they are put in that role of coming off the bench, those are the type of players you need who are sparks offensively. If you're having an off night, these guys can literally light up the opposing team and bring that offensive punch off the bench. Both guys are very explosive scorers. Buddy Hield, I think he was like 0 for 6, and then he hit 3 threes in a row in the second half, 9 straight points, which jump-started that run in that third quarter to essentially blow them out. It's crazy because we both know how much work Buddy puts into his craft. And for me, like being a hooper myself, continuing to see him just chuck it up just shows you that if you actually put the work in, bro, like I have no problems with that because at the end of the day, I felt like all those shots and a lot of those shots were in and out were going to fall. And the funny thing is, even though he was like 0 for 6, 0 for 7, they were still playing him like if he was 6 for 6. And that's just the respect he gets because he's such an elite shooter, man. And I love to see that, and I want to compliment that with his effort on defense tonight. I posted that clip. Like, he was playing hard. And, we always talk about this. If you have a guy lighting the fire under your ass like a Davion Mitchell, you best believe he's coming for your job. So you have to play hard and play like there's no tomorrow. And that's a beautiful thing to watch, man.
Yeah, and again, when Buddy was 1 for 7 in the first half from 3, at least from the field at that particular time, people are like, oh, Buddy. But again, doesn't get in his own head. Short memory. Most importantly, he has mental toughness. He went to the second half after his, intermission and said, hey, it's time to lock in. Let's go. That's over with. Move on to the next period. Move on to the next quarter. Made 3 straight threes. Finished with 11 points. I mean, his percentage wasn't the best. But again, he, like you said, no conscience, no fear. Most importantly, he has no restraint to ever shoot that basketball. He has no conscience to say, I'm not going to shoot and pull up, because he wants to be that sniper and be that guy on the perimeter. Say, hey, kick the ball out to me, and you're going to pay defensively. You're going to pay defensively. If any defenders don't want to take me serious, it's all good, because you're going to be on the bench in about 2 seconds when I will light you up for about 12 and 5 minutes or not less, because Buddy Hield does things that, granted, he might not play the best defense per se or best ball handler, this and the third, but the man knows how to shoot. And outside of Steph Curry, ladies and gentlemen, he had the most made 3-pointers in the NBA last season, besides Steph Curry. So don't ever disrespect my man Buddy Hield. No matter what no matter what you like or don't like or dislike, or what do you feel about him, whatever, just understand this. Outside of Steph Curry, he had the second most made 3-pointers in the NBA last season. Do not forget that. CK fans, as well as King fans out there listening currently.
Yep. Alex Len, for some reason, I'm not a fan of him outside of the Kings, but every time this is a second stint. His first stint was really good, and even in his 12 minutes tonight, you just see his game is smooth. He's comfortable out there. You see a high sense of confidence from him, and I love to see it, man. And it's going to be interesting because you got Alex Len, you got TT. How does Marvin Bagley beat these guys? To me, Marvin Bagley is a 5, and you're going to see a lot of Mo Harkless and Harrison Barnes at the 4. So again, Javi, will Marvin Bagley beat out Alex Len, TT for those minutes at the 5? Because again, if Luke Walton is trying to win games this season and his His job is on the line. Make no mistake about it. He needs to play his best players. And as of right now, I don't think Marvin Bagley is one of his 8 best players, to be honest with you. I don't think that.
Respect to your, preconceived opinion. I just feel like 2 things. I like the physicality that Lynn is bringing. Alex Lynn is bringing a physical sense that we haven't had. I'm not saying since he left, but I'm saying we haven't seen consistently, obviously, in a long time in the interior outside of Rashawn. Marvin, I really hope Monty just looks at my trade proposal. I know it's humongously and more than egregiously far-fetched, but I'm telling you, I think it's best for all parties and all 3. I think I want to have Marvin have success here, but I'm saying for where the Sixers are at, where the Rockets are at, and where we're at, I feel like it's a win, win, win for everybody. Fresh start for all 3 parties and all players included and involved in the deal.
All right, well, let's transition into it. We hope you guys enjoyed this recap of the Clippers versus the Kings from Staples Center tonight. The Kings blew them out once again. It wasn't really a game. They were down by 26 at one point. The Clippers got that lead down to about 15 with the third stringers in. It is what it is, bro. But let's talk about this proposed deal. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe. We had a lot of people watching earlier. Again, I've been told that the stream is fine now. We apologize for any inconveniences. I never got a lag on my end, but that doesn't mean that it didn't happen. So, again, we apologize for that. Let's pull up the successful trade proposal from Javi. I like the deal. I love the deal for the Kings. I love the deal for the Rockets. But after really thinking about it later throughout the day, there was a lot of pushback from Sixer fans. And I understand why, because there's a lot of ifs for the Sixers. John Wall is the biggest if, but if he does return to form the way we know John Wall can when he's healthy, then it's a very good trade. But if he doesn't, then that's where the concern lies on. And even with those picks, like the Sixers are in a win now mode. They're trying to win the NBA championship. So honestly, those picks are irrelevant to them in the short term. In the long term, it could help. It could not. I made them lottery protected. That probably won't, fly with Daryl Morey. Honestly, like they're going to be probably unprotected if anything. But I was like, well, just make them lottery protected. And you guys see the trade on the screen right now. Javi, after proposing his deal and thinking about it for a few hours, has anything changed in your mind?
No. And the reason why is real simple. You're playing chicken with a guy in Ben Simmons, a player of his caliber that whether you guys think he's good, bad, or indifferent, he's a 3-time All-Star and 2-time All-Defensive player, and he's willing to eat the salary and just not play. What leverage do they have? And everyone's saying, well, the big if of John Wall. Well, name me a better deal they have out there. They're going to get 4 first-round picks, a former NBA All-Star point guard, a sniper from the 3-point line of Eric Gordon, and a more than capable 3 in Daniel House. And they get 4 first-round picks. Whether they're trying to play win now or not, if it goes bad, per se, they have the picks. They still have Shake Milton, and they still have Maxey. They give away Seth, obviously, but they get Gordon. They give away Danny Green, who's 35. I mean, what did they lose here? Furkan Korkmaz, again, Sixer fans are over here playing this. I don't like it. I'm never gonna agree to that. You don't have any leverage. What do you think that the NBA is just gonna walk a red velvet, walkway for Ben Simmons and any deal they want? Ben Simmons said, "I'm done with you guys." I don't know why Sixers fans over here sticking to those guys. Oh, we're not taking that. Well, then you're not gonna have anything So do you think the Sixers are gonna get TJ McCollum for him straight up? No. Why would the Blazers want to do that? They have no leverage in this case. And then they said, the Kyrie Irving thing. Okay, go take Kyrie Irving. But you and me know damn well he is a headache minute to minute, if not second to second. So I don't want to hear about no Kyrie Irving for Ben. Hey, if you want to do that, props to you. But at the end of the day, If it ain't the coronavirus, if it ain't the earth flat, it'll be the NBA court is not a complimentary and healthy service from the play on. It'll be something because he is just a head case. Like, and I'm not saying he's not a great talent because he is, but I don't want no parts of Kyrie Irving with all that. I'm gonna get vaccinated. I'm not. End of the day, I respect the decision, but the NBA is where they're at with the vaccine. With the way the 76ers get a point guard with the starting lineup of John Wall. Think about this: John Wall, Eric Gordon, Matisse Thybulle, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid with Maxey, Milton, Daniel House, and two back. And then they have they got back the big from Drummond, and they'll find a back of 4 with 4 first-round picks. You're telling me that team is not top 3 in the East? Like where are we lost here? The Rockets get 2 expiring contracts. They get Tristan Thompson, obviously, and Bagley expiring. And Seth Curry's a sniper. Buddy Hield, I guess, the big contract. But they get first-round pick themselves, and Buddy Hield's a not more than fair deal, but he's a, in today's NBA, it's a manageable contract. And the Kings, they give up 3 first-round picks, Buddy, Bagley, and obviously they give up, the picks that are needed, but they get back what they want. And they do take on Green and Korkmaz. But how can you sit there and say those 3 teams from the 76ers, Rockets, and Kings perspective don't win? I'm confused by that. I don't see how any Sixers fans can sit there and begrudgingly say we don't want that deal. Well, then name the deal you want, because all these deals of you getting like I said, CJ McCollum or Andrew Wiggins and the 2 first-round picks from this year and Wiseman, that's not happening. That's not happening. Name the deal, and I'll tell you, okay, that's better. But you and me know dang well, no Sixers fan can sit there and say, honestly, they got a better deal on the table. No matter how much I don't like John Wall has 2 years left on his deal, dog. It ain't like he got 5 years left. He got this year and next year. So if it goes bad, per se, they got 4 first-round picks, and they still have Milton and Maxey they kept. So tell me where the Sixers are losing. Tell me where the Rockets are losing. They're getting away from the John Wall contract. They get 2 expirings and a first-round pick, and we get what we want.
The only deal that I would see that could trump this deal is if the Cavs would come into the frame, offer a guy, say like Colin Sexton. That's where I would be afraid if I'm a Rockets fan, if I'm a Kings fan, because if you're a Rockets fan, you want this to happen. If you're a Kings fan, you want this to happen. If you're a smart Kings fan, at least, because there's a lot of pushback on it. Obviously, like we saw in the comment section, I don't want a guy who can't. I'm not listening to that. But that would be the only deal, because the connection between Clutch Sports and the Cavaliers, right? With LeBron being main dude and Ben Simmons, that's a real connection there. And they have the pieces and a player like a Colin Sexton who they would love to trade because they don't want to max him out, but someone's going to have to, because he's putting up these stats that resemble and scream, max player. Maybe not like a super max, but definitely like a max somewhere between the 22 to 25, somewhere around there is what he's going to get. So if you're the Sixers, you might get some picks there, maybe an additional young player from the Cavaliers. And if you're the Cavs, you add Ben Simmons to Evan Mobley to Garland, who you have there, and Jared Allen. That is what you want to do. Why not?
Yeah, you can't. 2 things. For one, the salaries are not going to match. Ben Simmons making 35 plus. Number 2, the Sixers are not going to max out Colin Sexton. And number 3, what player are the Sixers taking back to make the salaries match? It does not work logistically. And I can't sit there and say Colin Sexton's a bad player, but there's no way you're going to tell me that Colin Sexton at this
I haven't put it in the machine yet, but I'm sure something could work.
He's on a rookie deal. What do you mean? He's not making $33 million? This man Ben Simmons is making $33 million.
You do forget that they have Kevin Love on the roster.
So you're telling me right now the Sixers right now, we're going to take Kevin Love and Colin Sexton over what I proposed. That's a better deal for them? You can honestly say that?
I don't know if that's a better. No, well, I have to put it on the machine and just see the logistics. But you just said that it can't happen because of his rookie skill deal. They have large enough contracts that they can get rid of, and his deal is expiring. So it's not like it's a bad thing for the Sixers. Like, again, they're doing this to get Colin Sexton. They're doing this to get an additional young player, which they have a lot of young players on that team that could help the Sixers right now, and they can also give up picks. So it just comes down to if you're the Sixers, do you value John Wall more or do you value Colin Sexton more? That's honestly what it comes down to, bro.
And there's two things to that, dog. I respect your opinion, but Colin Sexton's got to get a 5-year extension. You get John Wall, it's a 2-year marriage, not a 5-year marriage. And if it doesn't work out, you can amnesty him. You can possibly trade him after this offseason. You get the picks. You get to keep both your guards. If the Sexton deal happens, they're gonna ask for Maxey or Milton back. They're gonna ask for him. I don't care what nobody. They're gonna say I want Maxey or Milton because I need a point guard. They'll say, and then like some in the comment section. Let's rehash this real quick. I don't want a point guard who can't shoot or pass. We're not playing at the point guard. We're not playing at the shooting guard. He's gonna play power forward for the Kings, or majority of teams. Not the Kings. He's gonna play power forward for. Majority of teams he's gonna get acquired to go play for because he's a point forward.
You don't have to convince me. You don't have to convince me. It's more
unknown and ignorant.
I'm speaking for Sixer fans right now, though. Like I'm telling you what the vibes are in Philadelphia, and I'm telling you that they would prefer Colin Sexton over John Wall 10 out of 10 times. Like,
and that's cool. That's cool. But in the day, the fans say that they don't like the vibes we're seeing in Philadelphia. And any ignorant and unknowing fan to think that Ben Simmons is not going to play point forward for the Kings or any other team is just
that's a different conversation.
Well, incompetent in every way. But what I'm saying in this conversation is, regardless of their incompetency, is that they need to understand they don't care in regards to other teams and franchises what the Sixers fans want, what Morey wants, what the brass of the Sixers want. We don't care about what anything you're asking for because you have no leverage for the third time. He is not reporting. So I don't care how bad you want what you want. I don't care what you're asking for. I don't care what you think you're going to get. You're at the pleasure of the league, dog. And if you want to play chicken and sit on it, then be my guest. But the more time he wastes and the more money he forfeits, the less you're going to get because everyone's going to say, you know what? Why are we going to give you anything you want when he's not even playing for you? And he said, I'll just sit out the whole year. Damn you. And you're going to sit there and say, well, no, I don't want that deal. Excuse you.
Well, that's one perspective.
It is.
Well, that's one perspective. Both you and I, let's objectively, say the truth to our fans because they deserve the truth. I told you earlier that if I was the Sixers, I would not pay him. Hold out until the trade deadline because there will be a team who is desperate enough to say, hypothetically, say it's the Blazers. They're not playing well. They have a couple of injuries. They always do. And ownership is, calling for the head of the GM or whatever. They have a brand new head coach in Chauncey Billups. Who knows, man? But that could be a team where they're like, okay, I'll offer you what you want, which it's CJ. At first, they didn't want CJ, right? And now it's like, shoot, he may be all I could get, but at the deadline, there's going to be a lot of teams on the bubble trying to make the playoffs, trying to make that championship run. Who knows? It could be the Golden State Warriors, and both you and I agree that if they get Ben Simmons, they're going to have a great chance to win the NBA championship once again. And guess what? The Golden State Warriors have the youth pieces to make that deal work. And at that point, the Sixers will have to take a guy like Kuminga, a guy like Moses Moody, and maybe a pick. Like, that's not a bad deal, especially at this juncture. So if I'm the Sixers, and this is just an unbiased, objective point of view, I'm going to hold on to Ben Simmons until the deadline, until a team gets super desperate and they're ready to make a move. And it happens every single year. All it takes is one guy, and that's it. Like, it's just, we have to present all the facts, all the points of view to our, loyal fanship, and we appreciate all the listens, man. But hey, Javi, I think it's been a great show. You made a lot of good points. We recapped the entire game today. It's been fun, bro. And I feel like there is a lag on the stream on the phone. We're ahead of schedule a little bit, but we'll figure out all the logistics, all the technical difficulties on the next one. Don't know what happened, but I appreciate all the support, man. Any final words, Javi?
I appreciate everybody listening, all my CK fans and listeners. And it's going to be a good live. And most importantly, it's going to be a game-changing moment in time for the Sacramento Kings, for better, for worse, or indifferent. But this will be the season that presents the turning point in this franchise.
I agree with that. I agree. I think they'll at least win 42 games this year. I really do. And if they win 42 games, you get into the play-in, and then after that, you shoot your shot. Like, you play your best brand of basketball, and you try and get in. Like, that's just the mindset. I think they have the right mindset of players this year. They have enough depth. They have the right guy in De'Aaron Fox. They have the right complementary piece in Tyrese. And now they got a bunch of hungry guys, right, with the right mindset. And that's really what you need, man, to complement your main two guys. We'll see what happens. We thank everybody. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to continue to show the algorithm that you guys are interested in this type of content. I appreciate Rockets Nation, Raptors Nation for showing love on all the videos. We did a Kevin Porter Jr. breakdown today. He was so fun to watch yesterday, man. I know Javi and I were super high on him. And honestly, like, I'm going to say it right now, he's going to be one of the young stars in this league. Like, a star, because besides his troubles off the court, that was the only thing that was like a major concern. But the talent, my God, did the Rockets get a steal in Kevin Porter Jr. For free. Like, it was insane. Literally could be another James. Like, he's that good. And I'll be covering the Rockets a lot this year, man. It's just, it's crazy, man. Because we beg for KPJ, but it is what it is. Jalen Green's going to be fun to watch on that team. Alperen Sengun is going to be fun to watch on that team. The Raptors got Scotty Barnes, who I am extremely high. I think he's the second best player in the draft. But we'll see, man. Thank you guys for all the support. And let's keep growing this channel, man. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Angie's List is now Angie, and caring for your home just got easier. Whether you need help with routine maintenance or a dream remodel, Angie makes it easy to see reviews, compare quotes, and connect with top local pros who can get the job done right. Plus, you can see upfront pricing and instantly book hundreds of projects. No phone tag, just the work you need done at a time that works for you. Angie's got your to-do list covered from start to finish. Book your next home project today at Angie.com. That's ANGI.com.
Every day, thousands of hackers try to steal your crypto. But Arculus uses air-gapped technology by forming a protective barrier that insulates you from hackers and secures your crypto. Order yours at GetArculus.com.